Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, the show where we are privileged to meet individuals who have made it a success in their lives in terms of business especially, but not only business, also in the community at large. Today we have with us such an individual who not only has made it to the high ranks of business, but also is recognized in the Bengali community at large for his well-followed leadership. He is the CEO of Advantage Accident and Management Service, the well-established accident management service, I should say. And I'd like to welcome none other than Brother Abdus.
Assalamu alaikum, Shariful Islam Bhai. I'd like to thank TV1 and the Entrepreneur Show for having me here today. So it's a privilege. Thank you.
Well, the pleasure is mine that you can join us with such a busy schedule. Now, Vantage is what we'll be talking about today. Amongst many other businesses that you have, we'll focusing on Vantage. Now, can you tell us a little bit about Vantage and when was it established and so forth?
So Vantage was established in 2007.
Right.
And we have about 5 branches across the UK and over 40 staff, including including a call center in Bangladesh.
A call center in Bangladesh?
Yes.
Right. Well, the call centers in Bangladesh, many of these businesses, they have call centers in third world countries, especially in Bangladesh. Tell me a bit about that. What is the reason for the call center in Bangladesh? Is it because of cheap labor? Is it because of the accessing the buildings or the venues easily? What is it? What's that about?
It's mostly cost-cutting measures. So it costs about 50% of our cost to have the same operation here. And to have it in Bangladesh, it costs almost 50% of our costs.
Okay, so obviously, yeah. I mean, you save a lot of money, and money saved is money made, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, the history of Vantage. Now, this is an accident and management service. There are a lot of negativities in terms of this type of business. I'd like to, like you to tell us a bit more about the business and why this type of business is something that you chose, many years back. And how did you come about going into a business like this?
Okay, so I came into the business by accident. So
accident management, very convenient.
So by accident. Obviously, my background is from my family, and my background is from catering, where I started at an early age. So I had a friend, which is my partner now, Yusuf.
Right.
So he's been telling me about this business for a long time. So I wasn't entertaining it. I thought this garage, dirty work, and I said, look, I'm not interested. So in 2007, I took a break and I sold out all my businesses, and I went to Bangladesh for a year in the beginning.
Was it a break that you were taking just to clear your head or something after selling all the businesses?
No, I was just trying to see what else is there for me to do if I can establish myself in Bangladesh. So after 6 months, Yusuf was with me in Bangladesh. So after 6 months, I had to come back, unfortunately, because what I wanted to do in Bangladesh, it wasn't going to work.
Okay.
So during that 6 months in Bangladesh, Yusuf was there for 2 months. So when I came back, I had nothing to do.
Okay.
So I entered into the business that he said to do, which was create Advantage.
Right. Well, like all entrepreneurs, they say that, you stumble onto something accidentally. And then, like many of these great businessmen, they started off from scratch. And although you did not start off from scratch, you've got a sort of, if I'm correct in believing that your business, your family have been in, the business background. And as you said, you've been in the catering business before, and you had many businesses in terms of restaurants and takeaways. Now, when you sold that, you said you went to Bangladesh, you took a break. It's as if when you sell everything, people go through a little bit of a nervous breakdown. Is that something that happened to you?
No. I was looking at a new career.
Okay.
So I wasn't interested in the a restaurant and retail business anymore. So I was looking for a career, so I wanted to establish myself in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
But due to obviously family reasons, I couldn't really connect it there. That's why I came back here.
Okay, well, fantastic. I mean, so I don't think we've touched upon the branches that you have. Can you just mention how many branches you've got at the moment and where they are?
We have 5 branches. So we have one in Luton, one in Birmingham, and we also have 3 in London.
Wow. So pretty much nationwide.
Yeah, you can say nationwide. But our coverage is nationwide. So regardless where we're based, we can still access Scotland, Wales, the north, the south. Is quite easily
still
done.
Within the UK, the England range.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this type of business, like I said before, faces a lot of negativity. What have you done so different? What would you say that you've done different? Something maybe out of the box that has established it further, and how does that benefit everybody else?
Well, money wasn't my motivation. My motivation is to provide a good service to the clientele that comes forward without a lot of problems or issues. So I think that was the success of Vantage, is trying to provide good services and not to be too money orientated.
Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, I've seen your flyers and your cards go around. The word of mouth is quite good as well. So you've made a good reputation, I would say, especially when these types of businesses, come about. Now, can we just we've spoke about your business. Now, running a business, I know that you're a family man as well, and you're also a community man. Now, how does that fall into play with this busy schedule? I know having one child, I've got more than one child, but one child gives me a lot of grief in terms of, got to be home all the time, take her out and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about your family and, how many children you got? Because that's something that is quite interesting.
Okay, this is actually very interesting and a very difficult question. So obviously I have a very good wife who actually takes care of the family side. So I have 5 children, the oldest being 25 and the youngest being 6. So
you don't look so old.
I've been very fortunate in the way that my wife actually manages the children and whatever needs to be at home, and then I work for myself. So as and when the family needs me, so I attend to those before anything else.
Okay.
So regardless of...
So you give that priority?
Yes, I give that priority, but in the same time, I don't give them that time. So those time is just as and when you need that time. So beyond that, I can't give them time apart from going away on holidays.
Okay. In these moments when I ask such questions, I'd look for the contradictions, and I couldn't really find one, because you said, my wife is good, she looks after the children, so I give them time for holidays, but at the same time, I give them time as well. Yes. It is quite difficult though, isn't it? I mean, you must admit.
Well, my day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And at days, it won't finish until 12, 1 o'clock. That's through work, community, and socialization. So, and we need to be socially active in our businesses and what we do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the ups and downs of the business? What kind of difficulties you face? And obviously the passion of it as well, because with difficulties, there comes ease. So what are the difficulties and what are the ease?
The difficulty is immense. So the difficulty doesn't begin in one place. Difficulty is every day, every second, every minute. Although I look a bit chilled and relaxed, it's not that difficult because my phone is probably going bang, bang, bang as we sit here.
Right.
So the difficulty is mainly the staffing. Is in most industries, most workplaces, you can't get the right staff, and you can't get the right staff to do what you want them to do.
The right job.
Right job. So that's a difficulty that we will never ever be able to overcome, but then there's people like myself and my partner who are there to smooth it out. So that's one of the difficulties. Second difficulty is delivering what you promise to clientele. So that is like, a very difficult task, because to make a customer happy, you have to do a lot of work. And when they come, especially come to us as Bengalis, when we have Bengali clients, they expect a lot.
Yeah.
So the expectation level is not just with their claim, it's probably they need and expect a lot from the personal service that I have to provide.
So, I mean, the customers that you have, are they majority Bengalis, or do you have, you know, so
yes, it's the walking service is majority Bengali.
Majority Bengali.
So I would
but
say
you do have sort of multinational.
Yes,
yes.
So we cater for all. Yes.
Right. But so, because you're is it because you're Bengali owners? Is it word of mouth? Is it because you know, many people know you? Or I mean, obviously advertisement is a key factor.
Yeah.
But
it's mostly word of mouth. So you've used our service, you've told somebody else. They've used our service, they've told somebody else. So that's how we've been going for 12 years.
The word of mouth must have been immense, because you've got many branches now.
So it's an easy sell when someone recommends you.
Yeah.
While if you take someone new, there's a lot of headache and a lot of work, a lot of explaining.
Okay.
So, but when someone recommends you, it's the best form of business.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, you mentioned difficulties. Occupational hazard is one of those difficulties that everybody faces in business. Staff to be one of them. Now, in this kind of business, like you said, if you don't make people happy, you know, the main aspect of it is to make the customers happy, that they come back to you. Now, there are many competition in this business, as in all the other businesses. What kind of competition are a threat to you, I would say?
Well,
I would ask.
There's good competitions, which we welcome.
Okay.
We welcome the good competition.
Tell us about that a little bit.
So we have big companies who's been operating for many years. So they deliver good services.
Right.
The competition, I wouldn't say as much, is the ad hoc businesses that come into the business, promise the world, and deliver nothing.
Right.
And then we have to deal with the consequences of that.
Right. So, I mean, the negativities as well as the positivities in this type of business, and we hear a lot about this type of business. Now, when you talk about competition, now there are so many small sharks, if you like, come into the field, and what do they do to take your customers?
Well,
like you said, they promise a lot of things.
That's it. People like to fall into false promises, and when you lie, people like that more than when you tell them the truth.
When you say they like it more, what do you mean? That people...
So if I was to promise you the world, you would like that. If I was to tell you how it is and what it is, you wouldn't like that.
Okay, so you're quite straightforward.
It's not appealing to you.
Right. So is that what you do then?
That's me, exactly.
Right.
So it's how it is what it is. If you come, welcome. If you don't come, then what can I do?
Now, keep in note, but the thing is, look, when you say, from a business background myself, you have to promise people things. We keep in the ethics and morals of it, the principle of it. You have to promise people things, but this is where I would say that you take that extra step further. Now, what is the difference? Maybe your strategy works, but I've seen that straightforwardness. Obviously, you've got to be honest, right? But straightforwardness in business, especially, it doesn't always work.
No.
How do we tackle this?
So what we have to think here: are we here for the short-term gain, or are we there for the long-term gain? Now, I can promise the world, deliver nothing. That's short term, and I can tell you how it is. I can tell you how it is, what it is, and you can walk out. Then you'll go and use services somewhere else, and 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, month, year, you will come back to the services, because you will, at one point in your life, you will understand that what was said at that time is the right.
Okay.
So it's worked like that for me. I have customers going out without taking my services a lot. But I think that's my gain. I don't feel that's my loss.
Okay. Let's touch up on that a little bit more. I mean, what kind of advice would you give your customers when they come to you?
Well,
I mean, there are many different scenarios.
Yes.
Right.
So it's a very complicated area. And it's a very difficult area, the insurance sector.
Tell us if you, I mean, like you said, complicated area, there are many areas, right? So it's not a straightforward accident.
No.
Do you understand? It could be, I mean, you understand more than me, it could be an accident, it could be an injury, right? That's as far as I know. Tell us the, a few points.
So what services that we provide from Vantage is, obviously, if you're involved in an accident, we'll recover your car, store your car, we will provide hire to you if required, and then we'll undergo. So we manage the whole aspect of whatever you need if you had an accident. We deal with faults and non-fault claims. So we deal with lots of non-fault claims along with fault claims.
Right.
That's what we do, and we try to do that as best as possible.
Okay. Now, I mean, obviously in this type of business, we spoke about the competition and so forth, and the advice that you're giving. Now, obviously in every business, I mean, the main aspect of it is to make money, right?
Yes.
Now, in this type of business, right, there's injury, there's hiring the car, the courtesy cars and all that. I mean, it probably is a question that you wouldn't want to answer. However, if you can, then where in this business the money to be made? Which aspect of it is the financial gain? Well, there's the most financial gain.
There's the repair, the credit hire, there's the storage, the recovery.
Yeah, but there must be some customers that come to you and you say, well, you know what, it's not worth me taking this claim on or this case on. Tell us a little bit about this. Which one makes you, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Which claim would you like to take on? Is it when there's more passengers? Is it when it's a big vehicle? Is it when it's an expensive vehicle?
No. So like to take on is a different subject.
Okay.
A client comes for a service and you need to provide a service to them, however big
or small
it is. So there is no absolute like, because numbers, and what I like is, obviously I need enough work to pay for the staff, pay for everyone.
Right.
So everything that comes in that is, looks good to us and that we can be successful in, we'll take on.
Okay, so you don't, reject any
unless it's your fault and you're trying to say it's not my fault, then we would reject it. Obviously, we'll know from the beginning what cases we're going to be successful in and what cases we're not going to be successful in.
Right. So in terms of advice, I mean, you're not one of those companies that say, well, you know what, if you do this, if you do that, there's, you can make a bit more money, because this is, the things that we hear about these kind of businesses is, a lot of them. There are a lot of businesses like yourself, genuine businesses there, but a lot of scams are going on, and people take the benefit of it.
Well, the scams are
not only the owners of the businesses, the customers as well.
This is all more or less eliminated now. In the last 3-4 years, what is it, cash for crash, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
So that's more or less eliminated from the industry.
Okay.
So all the bad things that there were going on, I don't think it exists in...
It's less possible now.
Yeah, it exists in large numbers. If it exists in probably very minute and small numbers. So that's been eliminated.
Okay. Well, we haven't got much time left, but I just wanted to, touch up on something else, which... Like, you're an entrepreneur, obviously, so this is one of the businesses. If you can tell us quickly what other businesses you're involved, and then we can touch up on the a little bit of the community work that you're involved in.
So I'm involved with a lot of online businesses. So, for example, laundry services, clothing services.
Okay.
So that's two of my online.
Two of the other businesses.
Online platform. Obviously, I'm involved in properties.
Okay.
So there's quite
but this is one of the main business that you take passion in. All right. Okay. Now, you're also involved, and you've been elected the chairman of Shurma Center for 2 terms, I believe. And now Shurma Community Center is basically Bengali Workers Association, right? And it was established in 1976, I believe, yes. Right? So it's one of the oldest and the biggest Bengali organizations in the UK. Just quickly, why did you get into that, and what have you done for the community?
Okay, so I got involved because obviously I am from the area, and I used the services when I was a young person myself, right. And it's to my heart. Elected in 2014, just resigned in 2018, right. So I served 2 years terms. It's very hard time for the community sector now. The fundings are very stringent, very small at the moment. Okay. I did try the best I could, okay, but times are hard. Okay. And as you said, it's short. So yeah, but it was 4 very good years of my life.
It must have been very 4 good years, like you said, and I'm sure you've done a lot for the community. We'll have to wrap it up now. Yeah. I'd like to just once again say thank you very much for coming to the show. Joining me, it was a pleasure. And to the viewers, basically, I'm sure they were, very happy to meet you. And in the future, you can give us, some advice if we do other shows and stuff like that. But we'll have to wrap it up now because of short of time. But I'd like to say a very big thank you for you to come to the show today. The pleasure was actually all mine. Last few words, if you want to say anything.
Okay. Thank you to the viewers for putting up with me. Thank you to yourself, Sharif, and welcome. TV1 and the Entrepreneur Show. I wish them all the success.
Like I said, the pleasure was all mine. Right, so in the next program, we'll have another entrepreneur, and we'll be taking some advice and learn about his business. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today on The Entrepreneur. Thank you very much.